I didn't know what to expect from Click Clack Moo, Christmas at the Farm. I wasn't familiar with the characters or the other stories, so I went in with an open mind, and while I generally liked some of the animation, I felt like an outsider. I felt like, and this is not necessarily a bad thing, but I felt like this was aimed at people who already know about the characters, know about their living situation and what the setup is generally like. I felt like I was trying to keep up with everything. That's not to say it's confusing to understand. It's quite simple. The farm animals are trying to get Farmer Brown this clothing dryer that he wants for Christmas. It's pretty straightforward. But with regards to the characters' relationships with each other, their relationship with Farmer Brown, what their role is on the farm, it doesn't really provide me with a great deal of information there. So I didn't really love it. But I feel like if you're a fan of Click Clack Moo in general, then it would probably be a much different experience. This was released in 2017. It's directed by Jennifer Oxley and written by Will McRobb. And as I said, this is about a bunch of farm animals. And mostly we have the 3 cows and a pig and several other farm animals. And they all decide to try and work together to get this perfect Christmas present of a clothes dryer for Farmer Brown. And it's okay. But I feel like the narrative's quite chaotic. There's a lot of fluff in this that definitely didn't need to be there. And I never really got a good sense of a lot of the characters' personalities. Now, again, if I had watched other Click Clack Moos, or if I'd read the books, I believe it's based on a book, then I might have a better understanding of the characters, their personalities, things that I didn't think were that funny might have meant more to me. Is it fair that a film should only appeal to people who are already familiar with the characters? Arguably, I'd say not. Unless it's a direct sequel, I think you should be able to watch something on its own without relying on other context. But at the same time, if somebody wants to argue, well, you can just go and watch other stuff and get a better understanding, fair enough, but I don't want to do that. I'm not saying I will never watch any other Click Clack Moo things, because maybe one day I will. I'm not actually sure if there is anything else, or if it's just based purely on the book and the characters in the book. But either way, based on this, I didn't think it was a well-written narrative. I thought it was an interesting concept, but not necessarily well executed. But the animation is quite pleasing. Not amazing, not my favourite kind of animation of all time, but I still enjoyed it. Visually, it's not too bad. There's a decent-ish enough amount of Christmas or festivities in it. But in general, I didn't really care for it. I wouldn't be watching it again. If it sounds like it would appeal to you, I'd say give it a go. But if you're not familiar with Click Clack Moo, then you might have the same experience as me. But I'd love to know what you think of it, where you're coming from. Are you familiar with the characters? If you read the book? If not, you might like it, but I wouldn't be too hopeful. It's not a brilliant film, and the animation itself is okay, but in general, I wouldn't watch it again.